Now, your Wyoming Link weather for Cheyenne.
We've had some drastic changes in the weather pattern here as we stepped into our last week of November. Now, looking at the last 5 days, which does extend still into Friday, you're noting that we had a high of 61 degrees. Do you remember what the 60s felt like? Because it has been very brisk since then. Since then, there has been a gradual pullback in those temperatures. We saw a high of 19 for our Tuesday. Today, that held within those mid to low teens, so fairly similar, about 20 degrees below average for the last day of November. And looking at some of that November numbers, a little bit of data from today needs to be added to it, but overall pretty steady conditions, nothing too much to change. The only thing that might change is there's going to be more of that below average trend added to this. That is almost at 5 degrees below average when you average out that temperature. Precipitation wise, we are looking at a pretty nice numbers here, as we were able to get upwards of 15 inches of snowfall. And if you remember, we didn't have any snow in September or October, where we do average at least some snowfall, and having a surplus of 8 inches does bring now our seasonal total back on average. So some good numbers to see there when it comes to the snowy weather. However, we are going to continue to factor in some impacts here as we step into December when it comes to the wind profiles. Now, the warming winds are going to be in place, so it's going to bring our temperatures out of those 20s, and we're going to be back up into the 30s and 40s. Now, generally, we're going to talk more 40s, our 30s dominating, bringing us slightly below average, but there will be some times the seasonal temperatures working their way in. But unfortunately, at times it's going to be paired up with this really windy weather that is a winter wind, so it brings that chill at times. So wind alerts are in place through Friday morning with the concerns that we have in place. Now, there's also going to be a small chance for some light snow showers Friday morning. Nothing looking impactful, nothing looking significant, but with the wind still lingering into Friday, and then on top of that, we still have some slick roadways from the snow event this week. You want to keep yourself wary. So overall, as we trend into our Thursday forecast, we have that bright sunshine in place starting off into the 20s, which were our highs for Wednesday, and then we see returning into those 40s, so back to and even above average. But it is paired up with that strengthening wind. Some of the strongest winds for Thursday will be in those wind-prone areas, and you see those alerts follow I-25 and I-80. So travel, one of the biggest concerns with this wind that is going to be in place, as we see those peak wind gusts across the I-25 and I-80 range. We have Casper at 55, Medicine at 50 miles per hour. Isolated wind gusts getting to 60 miles per hour can't be ruled out. Now, generally, you see about 25 miles per hour into the Nebraska Panhandle, but we will see some of these stronger winds move their way off towards the east as we head into Friday, where you get that peak wind gust up to 60 miles per hour. It does stay strong as we head into Saturday. Might see some of those concerns of when you have those wind alerts expire, but note that it's still going to be a forecast to note that the wind and then the cooler temperatures will create that chill again. But as we look at the extended forecast, a little bit of roller coaster, but overall, we're staying on the quiet side.